need that anymore. So I have a tendency to go a little bit too long, so I'll try to keep it short and then just remember your questions and I can expand on it if you have more. Alright, so I did my project on self-proclaimed free spirits at Johnson State College. I don't know if anything else is going to be cut off. It's a little different than how I did it the first time, so bear with me here if it's different. But originally I wanted to do my project on hippies at Johnson State College, but as I was like thinking of people who you might self-identify as that, most people were like, no, hippies don't exist anymore. It was a generation thing, had to do with like drugs, protesting, like hippies, there's not real hippies anymore, and so don't take it from anyone who says that. But then there was a lot of people on the other side who said, like, I'm proud to be a hippie, like, you can call me a hippie if you want, and I'll do your project. So that was a very few number, and I had a hard time doing that. But a lot of people who, like, I thought might identify as a hippie or something, said, no, like, I would call myself a free spirit, and that's what other people call me. And so instead, I was like, oh, like, this seems like a different kind of culture than I expected, trying to, like, figure out what it's like, and so I decided to do it on free spirits instead, and I found a lot of people who were willing to do it with me, and were very willing to, like, share, and it was, like, it was a different experience than, like, the stereotypical, like, hippie around Johnson that a lot of people, like, think comprises the school. So, what is a free spirit? I found that, or this is my thesis anyway, is that those who self-identify as free spirits mainly share the belief that they are not bound by the expectations, limits, or regulations of society, but instead are self-directed, and most share similar views on health, politics, and legal systems, and spirituality. A lot of people didn't really like the idea of, like, conforming, well, not a lot of people, but there were some people who didn't really like the idea of, like, conforming to, like, a culture of, like, free-spiritedness, because it was too much into a group, and they wanted to, like, identify as someone who was free, an individual. But then there were a lot of people who said, like, no, like, I would identify as a free spirit because the definition fits me, not because I fit the definition, and so it's fine. Free spirits also liked, like, they shared that they liked experiences, so whether that was learning experiences or fun experiences or just experiences that bring happiness, that was, like, also a large part of identifying as a free spirit. When it came to health, a lot of people said that health was important to them. One person said that taking care of your body takes care of your soul, and I have a little snippet from the interview of that.
And I'm just trying to, like, take care of yourself because, like, you're going to have your body for the rest of your life. Right, yeah. As weird as that sounds, but, like, you have to take care of it because it's missing, and if you don't, then you could actually kill your soul. Personally, like, if I'm not healthy, I just don't feel well, I don't have energy, I feel really depressed, I just want to sleep all the time. Right. But, like, if I'm healthy, like, if I'm exercising, I hate exercising because I'm super lazy. Like, exercising, like, really helps. It pumps your brain full of serotonin and all those happy drugs that your body needs naturally. Like, spiritually, people with decalcified pineal glands experience more, like, spiritual, I don't want to say relations, but, like, experience.
Should have experiences if that faded off at the end. Other people said that health was important just for, life longevity. But most of everyone who I, like, hung out with and I interviewed ended up saying that, they found it important, but really it's, to each his own. And whatever makes you happy, like, that's what you should do. And they found, like, they were very much, like, not judgmental about, like, whatever other people wanted to do with their health. Also, a lot of people said that, or a lot of free spirits said that health wasn't necessarily a priority when it comes to other things. One person said that, like, school comes first, I just don't have time to, like, be, overactive, like, with my health. And a lot of other people said that, like, enjoyment comes first, so, like, socially, they would put that above, like, taking care of their health. They would rather just, like, enjoy time with their friends and stuff, whatever socially that includes. As far as politics and legal systems, a lot of free spirits find themselves as, like, liberal, or have liberal ideas. They basically said that, people should do what they want for the most part, especially if it's not negatively affecting others. A lot of people said that came down to, like, women's body rights as far as abortion and birth control. people should be able to do what they want there. And then another one was that like non-violent crimes, especially like drug use, and I'm trying to think if there was another one. I might have taken a note on it, but those kind of things. Oh, well, I guess I wrote down whatever doesn't affect others is really what they said. Thank you. But any of those kind of things, they should actually be legal. Just realistically, you can't catch like all the drugs coming across the border anyway, was what one person said. And then another piece of the realism part is that there's just too many people in jail for drugs, and it's not helping them with their drug problem anyway. And so if it wasn't illegal, then they wouldn't have such a problem there. So from a realistic perspective, and then from an economic perspective as well, because you could tax drugs if they were legal, and they said that would be a better idea. So those were a couple ideas on that one. And then another like more liberal viewpoint was to lower the drinking age. Most people said along the same lines of having liberal ideas anyway, that people should be able to do what they want, especially if it doesn't negatively affect others. And a lot of people said that underage drinking doesn't do that, and so why not just lower the drinking age? And one other thing is that many free spirits don't necessarily like follow the laws if they disagree with them, because they're free, so why bother? So like there was like mention of it was infrequent for some, it was frequent for others, but I just meant like as far as diversity within the small group that I studied, there was like recreational and therapeutic marijuana use, and they disagreed with it. Furthermore, a lot of them said that they were fairly uninvolved. Some reasons for this was because the political system isn't genuine, there's a lot of lies in politics, and some people said that they felt like they wouldn't be able to make any real changes anyway. However, there were some that disagreed. They said that it's very important to be active, and the other reason was that sometimes there wasn't a large interest. If there wasn't an interest, then they didn't like educate themselves on it, and if they didn't educate themselves on it, they didn't feel that they should be involved with it. But as I was saying, not everyone agrees with that. And so there was one girl who said, she's been to protests, she would love to start, voting and stuff, and so she does feel like it's very important. And I have another clip from an interview where she talks a little bit about that.
Because you're not going to get anywhere if you're like, this is what I believe, and you don't like say anything about it, you're not getting. That's not going to influence anything.
So those are her views as far as being involved in politics. When it comes to spirituality, there was a lot of feelings that there was like an interconnectedness between living organisms. And so whether that be souls or spirits or energy of living organisms, anything like that, and living organisms including, humans, animals, plants, that there's like an interconnectedness there. Some people said that they felt like they were able to be like perceptive of future events or other people because of this interconnectedness. And regardless of whether they felt like there's an interconnectedness or not, but definitely inclusive of those people, there was a large appreciation for nature all across the board for those that were participating in the study. Lost my place.
I know we're at time, guys. We'll just hang out just for a few minutes.
I'm so sorry. This is what I meant by that. I'm almost done. So there's also, it says on here, the belief in spirits beyond just within living organisms, and that these communicate with humans sometimes, depending on the person. It was a range of different ideas there. But a large idea on it was that there was no organized religion, and most of them were raised in an organized religion, but they don't follow it now. Oftentimes that was Christianity. There were some other comparisons. I won't go all the way through them, but with education, family backgrounds, oftentimes they were like caring or kind that I found as well. And then another huge comparison was that a lot of them had an appreciation for art, so whether that be any of the things on this list, or I'm sure there's many other things that they hadn't brought up, but those were another one. And then in conclusion, what most of them believed is that you should be able to, or you should be doing what makes you happy, and that's really the basis of being a free spirit. And this is a quote from one person that I had an interview with, and what he said was, to be free is to live for what I enjoy doing. He had a little bit in between there, but to shorten it on there. That was the main point of that, and so that's what I found conclusively is really what defines to be a free spirit. Any questions?
very briefly, I think this is a really good example. I think you did a really great job here with looking at something that's actually a very complex identity and pointing out, some, identifying some kind of salient commonality, and then being able to tease out some of the differences in the diversity, even within a small group, right? There's a whole bunch